You think you know beans. You know 4 of them. Today, 8. 4 you've eaten your whole life. 4 that most of the world has never heard of, but probably should have. Let's go. The chickpea, the most consumed legume on the entire planet, and one of the oldest cultivated foods in human history. Chickpeas have been eaten for over 10,000 years. They were found in ancient Egyptian tombs. They fed Roman armies. They are the foundation of food cultures across the Middle East, South Asia, and the Mediterranean, all completely independently. In the Middle East, they become hummus, blended with tahini, lemon, and garlic into something so universally loved, it has its own global debate about who invented it. In India, they become chana masala, cooked in a spiced tomato gravy that is arguably one of the most satisfying meals a single ingredient can produce. In Italy, pasta e cicci, pasta and chickpeas in broth, has been feeding families since the Roman Empire. The nutritional profile is remarkable. High protein, high fiber, low glycemic index, meaning they release energy slowly and keep you full for hours. And they contain something called resistant starch, which feeds beneficial gut bacteria directly. One bean, 10,000 years, every continent, still going.
Black beans, the soul of Latin American cooking, and one of the most nutritionally dense foods on Earth. Black beans get their deep color from anthocyanins, the same antioxidant pigments found in blueberries, red cabbage, and dark berries. Gram for gram, black beans contain more antioxidants than most fruits. That dark exterior isn't just visual, it's the most nutritious part of the bean. In Brazil, feijoada, a slow-cooked black bean stew with pork, is considered the national dish. It is eaten on Wednesdays and Saturdays across the country, in homes and restaurants alike. In Cuba, black beans and rice, moros y cristianos, meaning Moors and Christians, is a staple, eaten daily. In Mexico, black beans appear in tacos, soups, enchiladas, and simply refried on the side of almost everything. The flavor is earthy, slightly sweet, with a deep mineral note that lighter beans don't have. The texture when properly cooked is creamy. The skin softens completely while the interior becomes almost silky. They also happen to contain more iron per serving than most other beans, making them one of the most important plant-based iron sources for anyone not eating meat.
Kidney beans, named for their shape, built for their patience. The kidney bean is one of the most forgiving beans to cook, and one of the most rewarding. It holds its shape through long, slow cooking. It absorbs spices deeply. The thick skin softens into the sauce, while the interior stays intact, giving you a bean with texture and flavor in every bite. In the American South, red beans and rice on Mondays has been a New Orleans tradition for over 2 centuries. Originally cooked on washing day, when women needed a hands-off meal, the beans would simmer all day with whatever pork was left from Sunday. The tradition is so embedded that Louis Armstrong used to sign his letters, "Red beans and ricely yours." In Punjab, across India and Pakistan, rajma is the ultimate comfort food. Kidney beans slow-cooked in a deeply spiced onion and tomato gravy, eaten with rice. It's a dish people genuinely get homesick for. One important thing, raw kidney beans contain a compound called phytohemagglutinin, a toxin that causes severe food poisoning if the beans aren't properly cooked. Always boil them hard for at least 10 minutes before slow cooking. This is non-negotiable.
The lentil, technically not a bean. It's a legume in its own category, but it belongs here. Lentils are one of the first crops ever cultivated by humans. Evidence of lentil cultivation goes back 13,000 years in the Middle East. They appear in the Bible. They appear in ancient Egyptian records. They fed the builders of civilizations that no longer exist. And they're still on your supermarket shelf today, cheaper than almost any other combination in the aisle. Unlike most beans, lentils require no soaking. They cook in 20 to 30 minutes. Red lentils dissolve into a thick, silky dal. Green and brown lentils hold their shape for salads and soups. Black beluga lentils, named because they look exactly like caviar, stay firm with a rich, earthy flavor that works beautifully cold in salads.
The protein content is extraordinary, about 18 grams per cooked cup, more than most meat per calorie. Combined with rice, lentils provide a complete protein containing all 9 essential amino acids, which is why rice and lentils, in one form or another, has fed more people throughout human history than almost any other combination of foods. The Adzuki bean, the bean that the Western world has barely discovered, and East Asia has been building an entire dessert culture around for 3,000 years. Adzuki beans are small, deep red, and naturally sweet, more so than almost any other legume. That natural sweetness is why they became the foundation of East Asian confectionery. Anko, sweet red bean paste, is made simply by cooking Adzuki beans with sugar until they become a smooth, deeply flavored filling. It fills Japanese mochi, dorayaki pancakes, taiyaki fish-shaped cakes, and hundreds of other traditional sweets. In Korea, red bean porridge, pachuk, is eaten on the winter solstice. The red color is believed to ward off evil spirits. In China, sweet red bean soup is a traditional dessert served warm or cold. The bean shows up in desserts across Japan, Korea, China, Vietnam, and the Philippines, all with slightly different preparations, all built around the same sweet, earthy foundation. Nutritionally, Adzuki beans are exceptional, higher in folate than most other legumes, high in potassium and magnesium, and that natural sweetness means desserts made with Adzuki require less added sugar. The bean does the work. The Tepary bean, the most drought-resistant crop ever cultivated by humans. Tepary beans come from the Sonoran Desert, the driest desert in North America, straddling Arizona and Mexico. They were developed over thousands of years by the Tohono O'odham people, who bred them specifically to survive in conditions that would kill any other crop. Tepary beans can produce a full harvest in temperatures up to 110 degrees Fahrenheit. They survive on rainfall that would cause other crops to fail completely. As climate change makes farming increasingly difficult in arid regions around the world, food scientists and agronomists are looking at Tepary beans as one of the most important crops for the future. A bean that evolved specifically for drought and heat in a world that is getting drier and hotter is suddenly one of the most relevant foods on Earth. The flavor is nutty, slightly sweet, and denser than most common beans. The texture holds up beautifully in long, slow cooking, making them ideal for stews and soups. White Tepary beans are milder. Brown Tepary beans are earthier and more complex. They are almost impossible to find outside specialist stores and heritage seed suppliers, but chefs who have discovered them refuse to cook without them. Tarwi, the bean that fed the Inca Empire, and almost nobody else has heard of since. Tarwi is an edible lupin bean from the Andes of Peru, Bolivia, and Ecuador. It has been cultivated at high altitudes for over 4,000 years by Andean civilizations, who understood something remarkable about this plant. At 40% protein and 20% healthy fat, Tarwi is more nutritious than soybeans, the current global standard for plant protein. The catch? Tarwi beans contain bitter alkaloids in their raw state that make them inedible and mildly toxic. The traditional preparation involves soaking them for several days in running water, a process called debittering, which leaches out the alkaloids completely. After that, they're ready to eat. The Inca solved this problem thousands of years ago through patient observation and knowledge passed through generations. In Peru today, Tarwi appears in soups, stews, ceviches, and salads. It has a firm texture, a clean, slightly nutty flavor, and holds its shape beautifully. Food researchers are increasingly excited about Tarwi as a sustainable protein source, a high-altitude crop that grows in poor soil with minimal water input and produces more protein per acre than almost any other legume. Most of the world has never tasted it. That may not be true for much longer. The Lupin bean, the superfood that Europe ate for 2,000 years and then almost completely forgot. Lupins were a staple food across ancient Rome and Greece. Roman street vendors sold brined lupin beans the way modern cities sell pretzels,
cheap, salty, eaten standing up. They were so common that the Latin word for lupin became slang for something ordinary. Then they largely disappeared from European tables as other crops took over, but they never disappeared from the Mediterranean coast. In Portugal, tremosos, brined lupin beans, are still served in every bar alongside beer, as natural as peanuts in an American pub. In Italy, lupini are still found at street markets. Now, food scientists are rediscovering what Roman street vendors already knew. Lupin beans contain around 36 to 40% protein. They are naturally gluten-free, they have a very low glycemic index, and they grow in poor nitrogen-depleted soil, actually improving the soil as they grow, the way all legumes do, but more efficiently than most. Lupin flour is increasingly appearing in health food stores as a wheat flour alternative. Lupin pasta, lupin bread, lupin milk. The bean Rome forgot is quietly becoming one of the most talked about ingredients in sustainable food research.
8 beans. 4 you knew, 4 you didn't. And every single one of them, from the chickpea feeding a billion people to the tarwi bean in a Peruvian market, has been quietly keeping humans alive for thousands of years. That's worth knowing. Subscribe for a new food explainer every week. I'll see you in the next one.